Hi, this is Can I Have Another? We are here at 13th Street and First Avenue at No More Café, a non-alcoholic cafe which serves amazing drinks, cocktails, and coffee and tea. Come down and check them out. Rodrigo here to serve you and make your night better. Good. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye. Hi, welcome to another session of Can I Have Another? I'm Mike.
I'm Steph.
We are here at No More Cafe at the number 352 East 13th Street and cross streets First Avenue. We are here today with the bartender. Just say your name, please.
My name is Rodrigo.
How are you doing? Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Brazil.
Brazil, okay.
Yes, and this is I am the bartender here. I am the owner of the brand. I'm the owner of the bar. It's a one-man operation. I manufacture, I sell, I do the marketing.
Wow.
I do everything for this place.
It really is a one-man show.
It really is.
No, we've had your drinks right now and they're amazing. Have you ever thought about selling them individually outside
We do.
the market?
And they started as a brand in a place, right? This place, No More Cafe, just exists to kind of represent the brand, which is the No More Cocktails, which we sell that to the bars or the restaurants, and we sell it online, so people can order all over the country.
That's awesome. So you're actually expanding. You're not just a bar. You're actually out there.
Right, and it started, essentially to get into, this is a non-alcoholic space, and right now there's too many of these brands out there, but the path that they all take is they raise a lot of money and they spend it all on marketing. So my background is restaurants. I've opened a lot of restaurants, big, small, all over the country. So since I couldn't compete with these guys with the budget and marketing, I figured if I could just come back to New York, open a space to represent the brand, I was confident that I wouldn't lose money. So that would be the best marketing possible for the brand itself. And you guys found it, and you guys are here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So now it kind of tags on to the brand, it's not just a place. So this is a way, to promote that.
It's a smart route.
So what were you doing before opening this place?
Been working in back of the house as a chef for 20 years. Moved to New York 20 years ago, worked all over the city, left New York, went to New Orleans, went to LA. I was a corporate chef for a big restaurant group, and that took me to the road for 3 years. So I was just opening restaurants for them from Hawaii to Miami.
Oh, wow. Traveling everywhere.
Exactly. So I was just on the road. And then I decided to, start this project. So I came back to New York just to do it. I'll be right back. Yes.
Very nice. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so what made this idea personal for you? Did something happen in your life or anything like that? Why no alcohol? Why did you go that route?
Well, it's more my last job I was, opening restaurants and working in big restaurants. There's definitely a trend of people drinking less in restaurants. Right? That's undeniable. I used to drink a lot, then I took a break for a little bit, and that's when I started seeing what the options were, and I'm like, this is not good. Nobody has done it right, whether it is the spaces or it is the product. Especially, being on the road, every time I went to a new city, I would find a bar right by me. There's just nothing around unless you want to go to a bar. And then it's kind of like when you buy a car, that's the only thing you see is the same car.
Yeah.
So it's kind of then you start actually seeing the gaps. And I also think it's very rare to be part, especially in the hospitality industry, to be part of something new. It doesn't happen often. And I thought I was uniquely qualified to take it a crack at it. Both when it comes to the product itself, because I can make anything, and also with the spaces itself, because I'm not culty like all these spaces are. So I'm it's gotta be, someone needs to fine tune what is happening, and I think whoever does it is going to be very successful.
Now, being a chef, you think that helped you a lot in getting these ingredients into the glass and stuff like that?
But this is 100% as far as making it. It's just it's a completely different way of looking at it too. It's like it's not looking at these and like trying to mimic what an old fashioned is and trying to make fake whiskeys or anything like that. It's kind of reverse engineering. It's like you can lay out 10 different drinks in front of you and you're like, okay, what did these drinks do? You know, what were the flavor notes that they hit? You know, what's the difference between them? And like, how heavy are them? So all the recipes, you know, they just got developed over time and just balancing it out. So it's kind of, it's not meant to be fake versions of anything. We treat it almost like sauces for a dish.
Yeah.
So, you know, for you to make a sauce in a restaurant is going to take you a long time, and it's going to be really expensive, and you have to reduce that for a long time. So that's kind of the whole, you know, thought process behind these.
I think it kind of answers this question, but what was the scariest part about opening this No More Cafe?
Oh, I think for me it was just like the unknown, which is the most exciting part is also.
Yeah.
Like 20 restaurants I've opened, I knew exactly who was going to walk in the door. It didn't matter where. If it was in Hawaii, if it was Miami, if it was in Vegas, it didn't matter. I knew exactly who it was for. This one I had no clue. It's like I didn't know if it was going to be young people. I didn't know if it was going to be like old people. I had no idea who was going to walk in here. So that's what's very interesting. Even like in the product, like who are you selling it to? It's like, who do you market? Like, what is the crowd? So the unknown is very scary, but it's very exciting too.
Well, as people, like, we go to many bars and we started doing this, and we're actually learning a lot of bartenders are actually stop drinking.
Sure.
That's
And
actually true.
And it's to me, it's like, wow, like that'd be the toughest thing for me, like, because I do like drinking, but this is another way. Like, I feel like you can calm down like this, because most drinks you can taste the alcohol if they're far enough.
Right.
But in your mind, if you can make yourself feel like this is actual drink, and you calm yourself in different areas, you're not actually drinking, but you're actually having something that actually tastes really great, and you're actually feeling well about it.
And that's like the most complex part of the entire equation. I think everybody gets it like part right, and nobody gets it right. Because first, it's like when you talk about people drinking less, it's a fact, but the reason why there's 100 different reasons. Like just me, like I'm 40 years old. 20 years in restaurants, I drank a lot for 20 years. And all these bartenders that my age working in the same places drink a lot. I think we all got to that age that is just like, it just got old. So it's not necessarily that for me it was like I woke up one day and something bad happened. It's just like I'm tired of doing this, right? But when you step out, especially when you are in the industry, because you like drinking and you respect the craft that goes behind it. But when you start talking to random people, and the majority of people, they couldn't care less. It's like, if most people care what they drink, you know, there wouldn't be Yellowtail. Or it wouldn't be, you know, a bottle of vodka for $10.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so most people, they really don't. It's kind of like, you know, every bar you see the kind of customers that comes in and ask for like Grey Goose. They wouldn't be able to tell any difference, but it's just to show, right? So it's a lot of that too. It's like a lot of people just want, you know, something in a nice glass with an umbrella to pretend that they're big boys and girls. So there is a lot of that as well.
I feel like when we get older, and I'm noticing now, like a lot of the restaurants, when you used to go as 20s and 30s, you're kind of like feeling like, oh, this is not that great. Like, I mean, like, you can't afford the good stuff, but when you want to go out for the good stuff, you also want to get a good drink.
Right.
Yeah, you're more into craft cocktails now, because like, they're putting like effort into it versus just like vodka soda. Right. Anyone could do that vodka soda, you know,
But again, it's like anybody who ever order like Long Island iced tea, they don't care about what they're drinking, like ever. You know, they don't care about the craft.
Everybody
they don't
hates
care
that.
about
Everybody hates
Long
Long Island iced tea.
But it's one of these things that, you know, and that's why a lot of these brands have gotten bigger, because like they don't really have to care about the craft, because they're, you know, focusing on the people that never care anyways. Because you didn't care then, you're not gonna care now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess people just want to kind of ride a high, not really the taste of the alcohol they're drinking.
And now we're in the biggest point of why drink sales have gone down is just there's more drugs available. We always had our friends, 20 years ago who would go out and drink with us, but you knew that wasn't really his thing. Like, he would drink it just to be company and just to be part of the group. Now he doesn't have to. Now he can go to the corner and get a joint, or he can be on mushrooms. It's so much more accessible and more like.
There's different outlets at this point.
It's 100%. So that's what took it out from alcohol, is just the variety of drugs. Even though our infrastructure, it's like bars and alcohol. But now there's a lot more. Mm-hmm. So, and this is another tricky part, because, weed bars are not, necessarily legal yet. And there's a lot of the other substances that are now legal. They are not part of like the culture like drinking is. Like, if you're gonna go out with your boss, you're not gonna go and smoke pot with him in a car. So you are gonna go to a bar. So the infrastructure is very alcohol forward, but the options of drugs are there. So if you ever drink just to get drunk, you don't have to anymore. You can just, get the effects from something else.
Yeah, and not feel as bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on.
I mean, it depends how much you drink.
Yes.
It's not like if you get hammered, you.
So, when you thought of this idea, was this out, or you kept this under wraps and didn't really tell anyone?
This happened really fast. Around summer of 23, that's where I was kind of like thinking about, doing something else, in my job. I'm like, I'm gonna look for something else. And then that idea came. I'm like, nobody has done it right. Why not me? Right? So from that moment, when I decided to do it, less than a year it was open. So it was like in July, I decided it was doing. I registered the business within a week. I came, I did the entire business plan in 2 months. I signed a lease in November. Wow. The place opened in April. And I wasn't even here to see in New York. Like, I flew from San Francisco here to go and look at spots. I flew from Hawaii here to look at more spots. So it happened really fast. So there wasn't even, about keeping it a secret. I'm like, I told everybody that was asking.
Not that everyone tried to talk you out of it.
I mean, everybody. He's like, what? Like, well, look, I still consider this a proof of concept. And I gave myself 3 years. So I'm just now reaching the 2-year mark. It's either there's something here that's scalable or not. Well, I have no interest in just having like a one spot in New York and calling it a day. It's either scalable that I can open a whole bunch of this, or I don't want it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the non-alcoholic spaces, they're all hobbies. Someone found Jesus and stopped drinking, and now they're gonna open a bar, even though they never ran a lemonade stand. So this is still for me like a proof of concept, because this place could work if this is where all I want to do the rest of my life. But it needs to be scalable.
Patrick, are you trying to make with this? Are you trying to get out there? Are you trying to make it to different areas? Because you said like it's not big anywhere, and it's one simple drink or this and that. Or you want make this worldwide so you can get it global?
Like 100%. I just need fuel, right? And that's the thing. I haven't raised a penny to open this. So when it comes to the brand side, I'm competing with brands that have raised on 2, 5, 10 million valuations, a product that it's terrible. When it comes to the space, it's the same thing. I'm hoping to get enough traffic in New York to validate the concept, then so I can expand. Because I do think that there's a really gap on social spaces. It's not necessarily about drinking. Right now there's like so many startups of like strangers meeting each other, right? You put your personality profile and then you're gonna go to dinner with 5 strangers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because there's no places anymore. It's like a coffee shop is no longer a social space like it used to be. Like, you don't go to a coffee shop to meet a stranger anymore. You go in with someone that you know and you sit down and that's it. And there's no bar interaction. So even if you're like a solo person in a coffee shop, you're not talking to the person that's working. And then there is a full-on bar. I don't think there's like a social space that kind of is in the middle of that. So I do think that this is very scalable. Here you're gonna see, people coming in to work. You're gonna see people coming here to celebrate their sobriety. You're gonna see people here just because they want to, catch up with someone, and it's Saturday night and they don't want to go to a bar. They have no interest in this, but they just want, a coffee or a tea. Because we are open late. There's very few options like after 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Saying as far as space goes, there's been days here on a Saturday night or something that you see someone working, someone on a first date, someone meeting an old friend, someone celebrating your anniversary. You see everything in one spot. It's kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever experienced that in the same spot, and none of them feel off. So I think when it comes to this, the place itself, because again, the place does. Maybe the place works out and the drinks do not, right? It's not necessarily. Then you focus which side of the business I'm gonna go with. Maybe the drinks take off or the place doesn't, right? But I do think that there is a very strong need for a space like this. We have live music every Thursday. We have this artist here. He comes in and he does a live painting once in a while. At the end of the month, we have this really badass jazz pianist who is going to do he did a book and released an album that his wife is an artist, so they're gonna do something here.
Oh, that's cool.
He's just creating these things that all you do is take the booze out of the equation. So I hate the term that this is a sober bar, a dry bar, because I think it's dumb.
Uh-huh.
I like it much better. The focus wasn't to make a sober bar. The focus was to make just a really good bar, a really good space that just happens not to have alcohol. So it's a different focus, a different mentality in there. Because a lot of these places, they just, they try to make, I'm going to open a sober bar. Everything else comes after. The analogy I use is a vegan restaurant. If you just open a vegan restaurant, chances are it's not going to work. But if you open a really good restaurant that just happens to be vegan, now you invite everybody in, and not people just on the vegan, because every niche like this is kind of cultish. So, you have to have regular people going in because today I want to eat, that style of food.
I actually like the concept of that.
Yeah, it does. It makes it you make a good restaurant, but you serve vegan food, but you'll have other food that can have other people to come in.
You can just be badass vegan food, because even if you eat steak or whatever, today I could go for something different, right? But if you just make a vegan restaurant, that you only go if you are a vegan.
You basically don't want to put a label on it. It's just kind of open to interpretation type of thing. Oh, you know what? I want to do a vegan today.
Because there's a lot more normal people than not. So if you just focus on that tiny little specific niche, you will eliminate 90% of people. And that, unless you have a community that is just so culty, then it's not gonna work. It's I like to say to people, just because I cut down my drinking doesn't mean I want to join Scientology, or doesn't mean that I care where my sign is or my chakras are, or that I'm gonna do CrossFit tomorrow morning and then go yoga at night. It's can you just be for a place for normal people?
Yeah, just to chill, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
I think this would be a very smart first date, because alcohol can make you nervous and everything like that. And,
well, also if you have too much, then the first impression is out the door, and it's just I'm good.
It just makes everything.
There's a lot of first dates, and again, you can just sit down and have a movie back here, right? We got a bunch of games here that you can just grab a game and break the ice with the game. But at the same time, we'll have some really, a really nice jazz pianist playing in the front on a Thursday, while someone is on their laptop working. So it's just an eclectic place in a way. But just trying to keep hospitality standards.
Okay.
There's a lot of these other places, especially if you go to a kava bar, there's no longer hospitality anymore. It's kind of like the mom's basement vibe. It's like, you come in, you almost take your shoes off, put it on the table. It's like, now I'm not interested in that. It's like, I've been in really nice restaurants for 20 years. I really like hospitality. I don't want to throw that out the window. So, and like in this, I mean, I've been to most, if not all, of the places that claim to be non-alcoholic bars in the country, and like, you're not gonna find something like this.
So, like, you wanted to expand and stuff, and like, I'm sure after a while there's gonna be more that open up from different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there was one thing you could tell someone that want to do this, what would like the one advice be?
Well, first, know that even opening a regular bar is hard, so this is harder. And so, opening anything in New York is already hard. A coffee shop
true.
or a bar, do not expect there's going to be people on the door. And I really hope that more people open them, because it needs to be like normalized. It can't just be like, a weird like attraction, like something that you point at and how weird it is. So I think the more, the better it is for everybody. But again, it comes every time the shitty one opens, then everybody loses that customer.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you go to one that is really cozy and like, I'm not going coming back to this place, now you don't go to any of them. So I want a lot more to open, but I just hope that whoever is opening them,
they give like a good experience.
It's actually, a hospitality professional, and it just as a hobby because you found Jesus.
All right. So, what's the hardest decision that you had to make so far?
There's a lot of adapting, like coming from food and kitchens. When I first opened, there was a lot more food on the menu. You could have sat down here and had like oysters, foie gras, raw tuna, steak tartare, and you could have like 3 desserts, right? That was like 12 different items on the menu, and they were I would stand behind them in any restaurant. But it's just logistically didn't work. That means that this is no longer a one-man operation. This is a 2-man operation. One needs to be just for food, and it's just the math doesn't add up. So I had to in the beginning it was too nice, it would scare people because they thought that they would have to be at a certain occasion to come here. All right. It's like, even service, we would go to tables and that kind of stuff. So we had to, we need to stop, just make it more casual, just bring everything down. Someone needs to be able to comfortably to come here and just regular clothes with a laptop and work. And, it can be an occasion spot. Right? Most of your favorite restaurants, you go there a couple times a year. So it's
That's true.
It can't just be that spot. It has to be someone that, a place that people come multiple times a week. So that was a big, thing that after a couple of months, we're like, no, we just got to bring the tone down a little bit. So now it does feel more casual than it used to. And unfortunately for me, the food is out the window. Now it's just a couple of snacks. Who knows? Maybe the concept does need more food. But that will be a decision made for a later time.
Is there anything that you wish you knew before starting? Is there anything or you pretty much, I guess, knew it because you've been in the business for so long?
I mean, there are things that I would have done differently, but there's nothing, it's just things like that. I would have done differently, but I don't regret that choice in the beginning, right? It's there's a lot of adjusting. And again, it's trying to figure out what you have and who you're selling to. Because young people this is not a place for young people. It feels adult. So it's, you'll see the 20 to 23-year-olds sometimes, but that's not usually it, right? This is not really a place for if you have a problem with booze. If you're in AA, they don't even let you have non-alcoholic beer. So this is not a place if you have a problem with drinking. Even though we see a couple of people here and there, right? So, who is it for? So trying to find out, if you look now, everybody's 20s, 30s, Most people here, I can guarantee you that they drink, and it's just they don't want to drink on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock at night. So, and you can hear each other. You can sit down and have a conversation. The space feels adult. It is not like a coffee shop, but you're not forced to drink. So this is kind of like the entire thought behind this space. And I can guarantee 90% of here they drink, and they might leave here, go to dinner, and have a drink. But it's just like that extra space that there really isn't